All right. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Tech and Skills Innovation Roadshow from EIT Manufacturing Education Pillar Team. This nice event has been organized today by our Education Director, Paola Fantini, live with us today, and our Education Program Manager, Carolina Teregrosa Gallo. Thank you very much for organizing this event, and we will have a complete 2 hours of presentations, projects, and discussions on technologies and innovation for manufacturing. Uh, Paola, would you like maybe to say a word and welcome our guests today?
Yes, thank you, Karima. Welcome to everybody to this roadshow today. We have thought of it as a journey across Europe to have a flavor of how technologies require skills, but on the other hand, technologies also help to develop these skills. So I hope you enjoy the travel that we have prepared for you today. Hello.
All right, thank you, Paola. And without waiting any further, because we are very tight on timing, I would like to welcome Mr. Klaus Beetz, our CEO at EIT Manufacturing, who would like to share his view on options and trajectories for manufacturing companies. Klaus, if you would like to share with us.
Yeah, okay. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here this afternoon. Welcome to all of you. I'm Klaus Beetz, the CEO of EIT Manufacturing, and I would like to start with a slide that really emphasizing that manufacturing matters, especially in Europe. We have more than 2 million enterprises active in manufacturing in Europe, employing directly more than 30 million jobs and much more indirectly. So manufacturing is really the base of Europe's prosperity and welfare. And having said this, we see the manufacturing domain in a whole worldwide in a big transformation, into the digital economy and a transformation towards the circular economy and towards the decarbonization of industry, while increasing the competitiveness to stay competitive in the world with other regions. But we from EIT Manufacturing want to support this transformation, and we see all the transformation towards the digital economy, towards the circular economy, more as an opportunity than as a challenge for the European manufacturing domain. We as EIT Manufacturing, we are a new kid on the block. We are active since the 1st of January this year as one of the youngest KIC under the umbrella of the European Institute of Innovation and Technology. We have a consortium from 60 major manufacturing players from 17 different European countries. This is our core partnership, but we are completely open in our calls. We have a model where we can easily integrate SMEs and startups in our activities, and we focus really on a European level of working together and promoting projects within the knowledge triangle, integrating innovation, business creation, and education. And as you can see here, our partnership with more than 50% industry, some industry partners joined us just recently with 30% universities and leading RTOs. And especially on the industry sector, from the beginning for us, it was quite important to have the most important industry domains represented, because cross-fertilization is for us a very important topic. Innovation or education, we have implemented innovative approaches within one industry domain, for instance, in the aerospace or in the consumer goods. Our goal is for the benefit of other industry domains with less effort to bring these innovations across to the whole manufacturing domain. Europe has been always the home of industry and a pioneer in industrial innovation, and today is no objection from Industry 1.0 to Industry 4.0. And this is the tradition we feel obliged to. And we will support the European industry that also in the future, manufacturing innovation is led by Europe. And therefore, we have brought together manufacturing actors across Europe to integrate innovation and education for an entrepreneurial and sustainable Europe. This is our mission. And if we look at the three sides of the knowledge triangle, industry, large companies, SME startups, educational institutes, and research center, we want to integrate them and really focus from the lab to the market, from the student to the entrepreneur, and from the idea to the product. So really, EIT Manufacturing is not yet another funding instrument on a European level. We are focusing really on the commercialization of ideas, of entrepreneurs, and of technologies. Our strategic objectives cover the main topics within the manufacturing domain. First of all, and this is also the topic for today, competitive manufacturing skills and social sustainability. The second topic, powerful manufacturing innovation system. And innovation system means not only working together on innovation or on research. It means, for instance, also share data over the whole value chain with the end user data, with the data from all suppliers, exploit this data jointly and develop new business models on top of this data. The third topic, globally competitive and resilient manufacturing. The COVID crisis has shown how fragile and how unstable our worldwide complex distributed value chains are. Here, a reshaping is necessary, and we want to support this reshaping of value chains within the manufacturing domain. The headline of the new European Commission is the Green Deal, going for a climate neutral Europe in 2050. We will only reach this goal if we have the more than 2 million companies active in the manufacturing domain on board to this journey. And last but not least, manufacturing for the digital age. There are a lot of digital technologies, artificial intelligence, augmented virtual reality, blockchain, and so forth, that will be exploited to the benefit of the manufacturing domain to make it more resilient, more flexible, more personalized, and so forth. So focusing on our program portfolio for the manufacturing, we have three main programs within the education pillar. The Empower program with our bachelor, master, PhD program, the professional trainings, at workplace and around workplace we want to establish. The Connect program, our guided learning platform, creating nuggets, interacting with learning and teaching factories. And last but not least, to engage society, pupils. I mean, manufacturing concerns everybody of us, all things around us, the building, the furniture, the food on our plate, the plate itself, all is the result of a manufacturing process. And we have to bring this across into the society, especially also to the younger generation, that they realize going for a career in the manufacturing domain, it is really worthwhile. This is attractive and very interesting to work with concrete things. As one example, I would like to focus on our doctoral school. We just opened last week. In a complex world and in a manufacturing with changing and new manufacturing paradigms, PhD researchers don't need only scientific education. They really have to integrate the knowledge triangle with education, business, and business creation and work together on common goals. PhD students should be really eager to address the challenges of our society. They should be not just happy with publishing on peer-reviewed papers. They need to wish to create and apply knowledge to solve real problems, to launch new solutions that contribute to enhance our society and our planet. This is the goal of our doctoral school. And you see here on the left side what PhD researchers, traditional PhD researchers offers. These are valuable skills and very valuable capabilities. But the industry needs really focus on innovation. In the past, the manufacturing companies were driven by the triangle of quality, cost, and time. And now we have to add this with innovation and with transformation. So our EIT Manufacturing BID students are confronted with learning experiences that allow them to develop special innovation and entrepreneurial skills. They will be able to recognize business opportunities, not only to develop new technologies and new software architectures, but also get an idea how to commercialize this, how to make business out of that. Our hope is that they will be real change makers and they will shape the future of manufacturing. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Klaus, for this complete and very promising presentation for the future of our continent concerning manufacturing. That seems to be a very deep and complex topic. That is why, without waiting any further, I would like to announce the following of the event. First of all, please note that we are live on social medias, YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. You can find the event live on our channel, EIT Manufacturing, and you can also ask questions on the comment boxes on YouTube and Facebook. So please do not hesitate. We would love to share with you your questions, ideas, thoughts, insights, anything we would like to share with you today. So next, we are today having a challenging event with many fruitful presentations following each other, challenging timing, only 3 minutes per speaker. And any questions will be written on the social media too. For the first panel, additive manufacturing and virtual reality, democratization and contamination, I will welcome 6 speakers today for 6 different projects. The first one with us today is Julia Anna Schonher from the Technical University of Vienna, TU Wien, for those who know better. The project is EIT Ad Manu, and Julia Anna will tell us more about what they have been working on with her team on this project. Julia Anna, the floor is yours. Thank you very much.
Thank you and good afternoon. Anything you want to build, you can 3D print, right? But how do I get an overview about all the technologies and stay up to date? Additive manufacturing technology, short AMT, is a fast developing field. Is AMT a possible solution for my business? But what kind of materials can be used for it? What process is the ideal one? What about regulatory questions? I would like to get an insight, but not necessarily learn all about it. Do you know these kind of questions? Do you want to get knowledge about AMT from insiders, from people who know their single topic in detail? We have the solution. EIT at Manu. We are specialists from 4 countries in Europe, providing learning content in small learning units, from general topics like additive manufacturing processes to detailed ones, such as medical applications or real-life case studies. You are not interested in all these topics? You don't have to. You can define and tailor a program to your individual learning path that is relevant for you. Each learning unit is short and easy to handle. Get into the topic by a variety of medial support, including videos or graphics, and assess your progress by doing quizzes. Additionally, you can become an expert in each topic by studying the extra materials, such as the latest published scientific papers. Admanu will be available online on a specialized platform powered by EIT Manufacturing, the guided learning platform, and all of you have access to this content for free. So please do not hesitate to ask any questions and join my activity. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Julia Anna. That was sharp and right on time. Thank you very much. Without waiting any further, next project will be presented by Denis Dowling from University College Dublin for the Perform project.
you might have the wrong person on the screen.
Yes. I don't think we have the right person.
Yeah,
Here
no
is
problem.
Denis. Hello, Denis. Welcome. Sorry about this technical
That's no
disruption.
problem. Good morning or good afternoon, everyone. At the beginning of this session, Klaus highlighted the importance of digital skills and digitalization of manufacturing. Key issue is how to develop training content and particularly tools that will help to this in terms of those training skills. So what we've done within the Perform project is to develop a training device. And this device consists of a number of areas. One is additive manufacturing. Secondly, the use of IoT, the use of Internet of Things. Thirdly, the use of augmented reality. And finally, that of digital twin. Now, how to combine these all in the same device? So what we've done is we've fabricated a turbine system, and this turbine system has to be printed. Now, we can print it either in metal or in polymer. And then the next step is to actually test it and obtain information from it. So we developed an apparatus which we can work in real time and remotely. So we can work in terms of on tablet devices. So in other words, as the turbine rotates and we know the level of air being blown, so the turbine rotates, we obtain real-time information in terms of the performance of the turbine device. So you can actually see it on the screen here now. So these are the small turbines that we've printed in metal. As I said, we can put it in polymer. We've already worked in terms of using this as a training exercise. So you see some undergraduate students here working on it. So we've already trained 100 students. And so you can see the turbine rotating inside in a small little holder here. That's a flywheel. And as the flywheel moves around, you obtain data in real time on the tablet. And that information you can control the speed of the turbine. Each of the students can also see it on their own mobile phones, for example. And in addition to the speed of the turbine, we can also measure acoustic information, temperature, and humidity. So these are the IoT elements. In addition, we have augmented reality. So what's shown here is an example of IoT and how to extract, or augmented reality and how to extract, for example, the turbine from the device. So the AR information is overlaid on top of the operation of the turbine itself. The piece I haven't shown you here is the digital twin. And what we do is we have a series of operations where we have training data, and then where we have anomaly data within that data. And we can show how the digital twin can be used as a predictor of where a problem is arising during the use of the turbine. So in summary, therefore, this Perform turbine device consists of IoT, augmented reality, digital twin, and of premier importance is additive manufacturing and the formation of the device. And that combination together can really be something that both industry and undergraduates can use. Thanks very much for your attention.
All right. Thank you, Denis. Still sharp on time also. So we are in good shape. I will welcome now Gaetano Patrimia from Prima Power for the EMPOWDER project. Gaetano, please, the floor is yours.
Yes, thank you very much and good afternoon to everyone. Well, the EMPOWDER project main objective is to establish a comprehensive training for the metal additive manufacturing powders handling. That is a very crucial aspect for this type of technology, not only from a safety point of view, because as you know, the powders could be highly explosive or toxic for human, for instance, titanium or aluminum powders, but also for the reuse of the resources. This will bring us to an upskill of the additive manufacturing industry's workforce and their value on the process. The online training program under development in the EMPOWDER will help the progression of the additive manufacturing industry's production, which will have a significant social impact by bringing flexibility to customizable mass production lines. In order to develop universal and easy for the user and low-cost training tools, the initial step of the EMPOWDER project will be to collect all the existing best practices regarding the material handling and the machine preparation coming from the experience of the leading players across the additive manufacturing industry. This will be followed by the categorization of touched knowledge and the guideline development for all the additive manufacturing procedures in order to, let's say, accelerate the competence and advancement of the European workforce expertise. Then the final milestone will be the certification of the training program, which will then contribute to the training of additive manufacturing machine operators and the SMEs across the European additive manufacturing industry. At the actual stage, we are creating nuggets on the platform that should be ready for the December of this year. Thank you for your attention.
All right. Thank you, Gaetano. Just for the precision, nuggets are education programs on our education program at EIT Manufacturing. Thank you for the timing also. I repeat once again, social media questions can be asked. Do not hesitate to ask your questions to our speaker. They would be very happy to answer them. Sorry about the technical discrepancies too, but we are learning also to work and live this new way of life. For the next pitch, I would like to welcome Benjamin Knoke from BIBA company for the project VR Sustain. Benjamin, are you around? Hello,
Yes, I'm
Benjamin,
here.
welcome.
Okay.
And the floor is yours.
Hello. Thank you very much. Okay, so we also have a video. Can you just start it right now? Thank you. So the full name of our project is Simulation-Based Training for Accident Prevention in the Automotive Industry. And in this project, we focus on accident prevention, and we have a scenario that will be distributed to the public, and it focuses on the maintenance of electronic equipment. And the background is that in Germany and many other European countries, there are, of course, important safety rules for electricians and mandatory safety trainings that have to repeat it at least once per year. This means that there's a large demand for ways to make this training more attractive and more interesting. And we try to do this in a virtual reality environment. So in the video, you can see the current status of our development, and it starts with the tutorial to get to know the controls and everything. And it's basically just separated in two different challenges and exercises with varying difficulty. And the one you can see in the video is about the replacement of a defective electric motor. And at first, you have to collect your tools, put them into the toolbox. So there are, of course, certified tools that you can use, and some that are unnecessary for the job. And the idea is to teach to use the correct tools and to apply the safety rules. So before you can start working on your electric equipment, you have, of course, to make sure that the power is disabled, so that you don't get shocked. And this is something we can simulate quite well in our virtual training. So you can see right now the trainee has already selected it's already filled the toolbox, has now just disconnected the switch, and now put the safety measures in place. Right? So make sure that nobody else accesses the control cabinet. So that's basically the idea of our scenario. So to learn to use the safety rules, put them in place, and apply them in practice, so that we hope to recreate a more memorable experience than the standard lecture that is happening right now. Okay, so thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Benjamin. Thank you all for respecting so much the timing, the very tight timing we have today. Then we will move on to the next speaker, Karin Wilson from RISE Research Institutes in Sweden for the V-Machina project. Karin, are you around? Are you connected?
Yes, I hope so.
Yes, hello. Yes, I can see you. Welcome.
Yeah, I'm myself. So yeah, I will tell you about the V-Machina project. We are developing small training sessions, videos to be used with VR virtual reality to have a safe and easy interaction with real experience to get in with the lat machine or with the robot is the two machineries we are looking at this point. But I mean, of course, if this is working well, you can use it for other machinery. But the aim is to learn about the machine or the robot in a safe way, and it can be for students or for workers, depending on, like the first former speaker said, about regulations that you have to update your competence or something like that, a new machine. And you don't have to use the real machine then by time. You can use virtual reality. And this virtual reality experience give also feedback to the user. And it's also very usable for students, for instance, when it's the first time you interact with the machine. And the first now so-called nuggets learning sessions is about how to start a machine, or also changing tools, which is very important to know. And a very important part is the safety interaction with both the robot and with the latte machine. So these nuggets and small sessions will be on the EIT Manufacturing platform, GLP, for free for everyone to use. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Karin. For our public nuggets education programs, the GLP platform is the guided learning platform promoted by the education program for EIT Manufacturing that is available and open to public based on different conditions. I would like to welcome the next speaker, Doris Aschenbrenner, but I'm not sure if she has been able to connect. Doris, are you here? Yes,
hello.
here you are.
Wonderful.
Welcome for the Mirror Labs project. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I also have submitted a video. I think it will start in a second. So I was also really already really motivated by my speakers before me. They have shown very good examples for using virtual reality for training expertise. And what we do within the Mirror Labs project is more or less getting one step further. And using not only virtual reality, but virtual reality and augmented reality. I cannot see my video starting, so I will continue to talk about this wonderful project. The interesting thing is that we have, and I think that also was similar to my other colleagues here, that is quite difficult to generate all these models and connect them to the live data machines. Our approach is to build a bridging network between the robot operation system and the Unity, which is one of the major game development platforms. And this infrastructure is then ready to use for everybody who has a robot that can be controlled with a robot operation system and game in development engine, for example, Unity, where you can use augmented and virtual reality applications. And the goal is to enable students to develop a digital twin, use the digital twin of the robot to do projects and to understand the robot in a better way. And on the other hand, it is also for harmonizing our equipment, because there are robots that every institute has more or less bought. And it is good if we can have an exchange on how to set it up, how to make it working, and how to do education works with it. So one line that we are considering is the so-called autonomous ground vehicles, the driving mobile robots. And the other line is the collaborative robot, the cobots. And for both, we have undertaken some overview nuggets and some special nuggets on how to use augmented and virtual reality for the interaction with these industrial machines. And on top of this, we have developed a framework which everybody can use free of charge. It's an open source platform that connects the robot operation system to this Unity game engine, so that you also can build your own digital twin of your production environment, which contains these kind of robots, and use it for displaying the current status of some sensor information, but also for the future status of some sensor information. So that, for example, for safety purposes, you can see in augmented reality the movements that the robots are going to take before they actually happen. So this is one of the benefits that can be done within this framework, and our nuggets also show you, how to set it up, how to get it working, and what you need for that. I very much thank all of my wonderful partners that are really on this mission together with us in order to use augmented and virtual reality, to kind of get more human-centered approach for this complex manufacturing environment, and thus enabling the fourth industrial revolution. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, Doris, and sorry about the video issue. We must have had a technical problem backstage, but we will make sure to share it online on the website in any possible way. So thank you. That was the last pitch for this first panel. I would like to thank very much the panelists for their presentations and very challenging time limit of 3 minutes, which is always too short to talk about your passion. And now we still have a few minutes, but very shortly also for a panel discussion. And I see that we already have one question online for the panel. So please express yourself as soon as you've heard the question, but very shortly. How virtual reality and additive manufacturing will impact the manufacturing industry on the near future? Who would like to start? Please raise your hand. I think Doris has something to say, Denis too. Ladies first, maybe?
That's very kind. Thank you very much. But I think Denis has also very interesting stuff to say. I will just focus on augmented and virtual reality. And I think we are undergoing a process where industrial manufacturing will even be more complex in the future. And we need some means for us humans to still stay on top of that self-organized system. And a good visualization, for example, with augmented virtual reality, can help us to build an augmentation layer for the operator, for the human, that is still in the center of our aim. And this is also very much contributes to the EIT main flagship, one of the flagships, People and Robots for Sustainable Work. We really want to enable the operator to be still in control of the artificial intelligence system.
All right. Thank you, Doris. Denis, would you like to add to that quickly?
Maybe just a little bit. Just
yes.
Firstly, to highlight that additive manufacturing is becoming so widely applied, particularly aeronautics, medical devices, things like orthopedic implants, where additive is applied, but also cochlear implants, because they can be individualized to the person. The combination with AR and VR facilitates the design issue, because additive facilitates once-off individualized parts. Before you get there, you can use AR and VR as a way of visualizing that. So there is such an important tool with respect to assisting the designers to look at what that product would look like.
All right, thank you very much. I had one question too, but I think we don't have much time. Maybe quickly. Okay, we have 2 minutes. I've heard a lot of pitches about education, about training, about virtual reality, about manufacturing. What would be your main message to motivate our young generations to go into manufacturing? Quickly, in one word. Yes, Doris, please.
Yeah, I think it's basically the future. I think we are still, like, humans will still be part of the future factory, and they also will be a very important part of the future factory. And it's also, we need to have a European strategy for how manufacturing will look like in the following years. And that is a very exciting journey. And if you start now and like making yourself more educated, look into the stuff that all of these wonderful projects are providing, you can also be on top of this process. So I think it will be very, very exciting in the upcoming years, and we will see a lot of new development. And if you want to be part of it, of course, there is a lot of stuff that might be interesting for you then.
All right. Any additional comments quickly? I have 1 minute. Yes, Denis.
Maybe just to add to that is that a lot of people are driven by income. And there's been a number of studies which show that for a similar qualification in manufacturing versus different sector, average pay is about 7 or 8% higher. So you're looking at manufacturing, perception can be, kind of heavy duty, male dominated. Actually, the reality is that digitalization, these more advanced processes, give much more stable long-term jobs with a higher pay rate than conventional ones, and in very exciting areas. So that excitement, I think, is something key in terms of somebody starting out in a new career.
All right. Okay. So if I understand properly, the manufacturing sector still suffers some prejudices among young generation, and that's maybe
unfortunately,
something EIT Manufacturing can tackle for the next missions. But moving to the next topic, because now I have a time constraint too, and I am being watched by my boss. So second panel, I would like to welcome the next speakers to talk to us about the human-centric robotics and operator 4.0. Thank you to all previous speakers. I will welcome now the 6 next speakers: Stefan Nixdorf, Nicoletta Beretta, Pedro Arazola, Tobias Schubert, Jill Consalves, and Paolo Neirotti. Let's wait a little bit for people to connect. I think that we have already Paolo, who is there.
Good afternoon.
Hello, everyone. Welcome.
Good afternoon.
Stefan Nixdorf, are you with us?
Hello. Good afternoon.
Yes. Stefan has arrived from the Technical University of Vienna, also TU Wien, for the project Robo Nuggets. Would you like to tell us more about your project, please, Stefan?
Yes, of course. So, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Stefan, and I'm affiliated to TU Vienna. Today, I want to present our project Robo Nuggets, for which I would like you to envision becoming a collaborative robots expert in a smart factory of the future. So, imagine the knowledge and skills of your actual job and the gap that is needed to close in order to get and become a collaborative robots expert. So in Robo Nuggets, we address these skill gaps by providing training opportunities in form of digital learning content. Our specific domain is robotics, of course, more specific, even collaborative robots and physical assistance systems. So we are a 4-headed consortium consisting of Festo and Siemens Professional Education, both from Germany, University of Tartu from Estonia, and TU Wien from Austria. So our target groups are thus mainly trainees in initial and continual vocational education and training, as well as academic students. And for these target groups, we provide learning content which is not only digital, it is also interactive, at least mostly, and modular. And it is provided on the guided learning platform of EIT Manufacturing. And I also want you to have and get a better understanding of which knowledge we want to discover with Robo Nuggets. And there are mainly 2. The first one is digital literacy. We teach manufacturing workers on the shop floor and beyond to not only understand and interact with robots in order to enable them to develop new solutions, new applications with these technologies. But we also, and this is the second one, we address physical and psychological and the ability to physically and psychologically work with these new technologies. For example, safety-related aspects and collaboration with robots. So to sum this all up, I want you to have a glance at our content, at least a fraction of our content. And in the following video, you will see an explanation of the advantages of point blending in robot movement. So I thank you for your attention and enjoy the video.
Thank you, Stefan.
So there's no sound?
Not that we can hear. Did you have some sound involved?
Yes, exactly.
Maybe you can provide some comments on the images?
Yes, exactly. So the first movement said that those hard brakes slow down the movement. And when you have to submit 4 points in order to define the movement of the robot, you better use point blending, because then you can have a quicker and more smooth movement between the points. You don't have to address the obstacle in any way, and you're not only faster, but it is also better for the joints of the robot. So this is basically it. It's a 30-second video, and we have lots of these in our project.
All right, thank you, Stefan. I'm pretty sure we can find all this information also on different websites. Without waiting any further, Nicoletta Beretta from Comau will present us the project Unico. Hello, Nicoletta.
Hi.
Are you there?
Hi.
Good
Hi,
afternoon
I'm here.
and welcome.
Thank you.
Good
afternoon. Good afternoon to you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody. Let me just quickly describe this project carried out by Comau, TU Wien, and Untitled with EIT Manufacturing. There should be a video.
Yes, the video is running.
Yes, great. Great, thank you. The title of the project is Unico, as you can see, Unico Telenuggets Robotics. These projects provides innovative educational content for EIT Manufacturing online website, learning website. Robotont from Untitled and EDO arm from Comau are flexible. Oh, and you can see here the EDO arm, flexible open source robotics platform used to stimulate creativity and engagement, participation inside and outside the classroom setting. This project, Unico, especially focuses on supporting teachers and trainers through companion teaching, learning contents in order to apply new methodologies while it delivers skills in key areas such as STEM subjects, robotics, entrepreneurship skills, and manufacturing. The project raises also the awareness of the digital transformation in manufacturing, and we think that positively affects the industrial landscape by attracting and developing tomorrow's manufacturing talents. In a nutshell, Unico delivers engaging learning and teaching journeys to help educators, trainers in linking disciplinary activities to the real world of manufacturing. the videos and the video clips that you have seen. You have assisted sample of contents delivered through the platform and about the way to program with Blockly through a robot and controlling a robot using a keyboard. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the two learning contents, short learning contents. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Nicoletta. Thank you very much. We enjoyed it, of course, because we always enjoy some new knowledge and skills, information content. I will remind the rules for the speakers. It's 3 minutes maximum for your presentation. Very challenging, I know, but I'm sure we can make it. Next project, Pedro Arasola from Mondragon University. I'm working on my Spanish accent. For the Mac 4.0 project. Pedro, the floor is yours.
Good afternoon, Karina. I had a movie. Can it set up, please?
You have a video, right?
Yeah.
Let's check. The video is coming up. You can
good.
start.
So, as I have said, good afternoon to everybody. I think it's running it. Okay. Imagine for a moment a world of zero defects in manufacturing, machining without chatter or collisions. Yeah. And maybe manufactured components with the right dimensional and geometrical tolerances, better surface finish and surface integrity, with no scraps at all, less material waste, less pollution and lower energy consumption. The circular economy, let's say. It sounds impossible, doesn't it? But what if we could? So the way we produce products is undergoing a significant transformation today, driven by technological innovation. And while everybody is talking about Industry 4.0, it's harder to say what it really means or how it might be applied to our particular business, especially to SMEs. So today, I introduce to you MAC 4.0, a training and learning activity in the GLP of EIT Manufacturing, which demonstrates the practical application of Industry 4.0 to machining processes. In this innovative and practical program, we look at concepts such as modeling and digital twins, zero defects, process monitoring, artificial intelligence, data analytics, and their very real impact on manufacturing. The project is led by 4 university partners, all experts in machining: Mondragon University, Politecnico di Milano, University of Prague, and Technical University of Darmstadt. This program employs a mix of practical and theoretical lessons delivered in both face-to-face and remote ways. We believe we are focusing on training solutions because we believe in a highly scaled force can bring us one step closer to our zero defects goal. The content created in MAC 4.0 can help current and future workers solve some of the common problems in machining processes. The benefits are obvious. Smarter manufacturing means increasing your competitive advantage. It means increased efficiency, better quality products, and reduced waste. Better for you, better for the customer, and better for a more sustainable and competitive Europe. So start preparing now for a future where smart machining improves your business. With the right knowledge comes the power to transform our world. So thanks you for listening to me, okay? You have any questions?
Thank you very much, Pedro. The message is very clear. I remind to the people watching us on the web, you can ask questions on our social media channels, YouTube and Facebook. You write your questions on the comment box and we will read it online here. Thank you, Pedro. Now we will move to the next speaker, Tobias Schubert from Festo Didactic for the HIAI project. Hello, Tobias. Welcome. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much. So I'm going to present our HIAI project. HIAI is an abbreviation for Human in the AI Loop. So our main goal of this project is to develop learning content, especially in the area of AI and machine learning, particular focusing on shop floor employees as a group in our case. Because from our point of view, in particular, shop floor employees like mechatronic guys or similar job roles will have to work more and more with AI-enabled production lines in the near future. But maybe the since this group typically is not responsible for programming or developing kind of algorithms, we neither focus with our learning content on implementation details too much, nor do we discuss the mathematics in detail. We are more focusing on increasing an overall awareness for artificial intelligence and machine learning. Our project itself has been divided into different major steps. So the first step early this year was to held a workshop with experts coming from industry for us to get to know which are the typical use cases and applications with respect to artificial intelligence that nowadays occur in real industrial facilities, or which are the use cases that will be used maybe tomorrow or the day after. Based on these use cases, one use case was more or less quality inspections or quality control. The other one was, of course, predictive maintenance. We developed in the second step a competency map to define which employee should know which kind of AI-related stuff to which extent. And based on these competency map, we also defined two different learning paths. One that is more focusing on the technical aspects, like supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and all that stuff. And another learning path that is more focusing on social aspects. So maybe how does AI will change our daily work or our daily life as well. Based on these two previous steps, we are now creating learning content, which we call on-the-job learning content, because it's divided into small pieces in a way that a participant will require, let's say, typically 10 to 15 minutes to successfully pass such an learning content. So it's perfectly fits for a lunch break or something like that. And at the end, which will be held in 2 weeks, we will have another workshop to get feedback from the same experts that we had during our first workshop in spring this year. We will optimize our content. We will finalize all the content, and then we will start with a pilot phase with participants coming from industry. So that's more or less our entire project. To summarize, we are focusing on AI and machine learning, especially for shop floor employees. It's a joint work by Festo, Siemens, Politecnico di Milano, and Technical University of Darmstadt. Thanks a lot for listening. If you have questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Thank you very much, Tobias. We know how challenging it is to summarize such amount of work in a few minutes for all of you, but without waiting any further still, we will move to the next speech by Gil Gonçalves from the FEUP Institute in Portugal for the CPPS 101 project. Hello, Gil, welcome, and the floor is yours.
Hello, Karin. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for the introduction. So CPPS 101. So today we are in the midst of a great evolution in industry. An evolution towards smart manufacturing is happening, and this is led by Industry 4.0. And with this new revolution comes a new mindset and the need to educate people to become aware of the main transformations, processes, and concepts that are surrounding the smart manufacturing paradigm. So CPPS 101, the smart manufacturing paradigm, is an introduction to cyber-physical production systems. And this is for college and university students which are interested career, or for professionals which need to upskill their competencies and their knowledge of today's evolving industrial ecosystem. And support and joint effort.
Sorry, Jill, we are being cut off. I don't know if it's the case for everyone.
Institute of Innovation in EdTech and for men to provide a clear and integrated view about CPPS. So CPPS 101 covers the main essential topics and emergent technologies within Industry 4.0. Twins, control and optimization, robotics, data analytics, and security in industrial systems. And in CPPS 101, students get access to lectures and video tutorials, so very short things between 15 to 20 minutes, quizzes and hands-on exercises that help them to develop and test their knowledge. Along with these videos and tasks, students also have access to complete source code samples, datasets, models, and test beds, which are used in the tutorials. All this information is made available on the GLP, but also in Git. So, and this is contributing to further enhance the student software development skills. In this course, students are learning about the smart manufacturing paradigm, the challenges, the enabling technologies, and the culture. And they get one step closer to become a leader for this 21st century industrial revolution. You can find out more about CPPS 101 in our website, cppws101.eu, and you can also follow our activities in LinkedIn and Twitter. So thank you very much and enjoy the rest of the session.
Thank you, Jill. We've been interrupted at some points with the connection. I hope that maybe it was only me. Anyway, all information is available also on our websites. Seems like there is a lot of rich content on these GLPs platforms. I think our education director, Paola, will tell us more about it later on. But for the moment, we will move to the next pitch from Paolo Neirotti from Politecnico di Torino.
Yes.
With the project Dig Work. Hello, Paolo. Welcome.
Good afternoon, everybody, from a very warm Torino. It's in the summer here, so I'd like to talk very briefly about our project that is focused upon. I don't see the slides, by the way, but anyway, I can also talk without slides. So we are essentially management engineers. So we provide probably a little bit different perspective on the digital transformation of work. We have heard in this panel and also in the previous one about how data change the landscape in the manufacturing industry and so on. And at this point of view, I don't see slides. Please, is possible, Kamala, to have slides?
I think that our technical team is working on it. They will.
Okay, thank you. Sorry.
Yes,
so,
no problem.
My apologies for the impatience about that. So, so essentially, our project provides a bird's eye view on the transformation.
Well, I have a message from the technical team saying that the slides should be visible on your side.
Okay, anyway, I don't see slides, but probably it's my fault. The important thing is that the audience sees slides. So the project is about the digital transformation of work. So we provide a bird's eye view on the transformation that can occur in processes, in work practices and skills. We want to inform essentially human resource specialists, directors of production, innovation directors in medium-sized and large companies about what are the skills that are needed to be built by companies to undertake the digital transformation. It's a 8-hour course made by Nuggets. Nuggets are a learning pill that have an average duration of 8 minutes, extra focus on a single topic. So our topic are organized along 3 layers. So we have a layer of content that is related to the transformation at the sector level. So professors will and practitioner will tell you how they tackled the digital transformation, how data changed the industry landscape with many use cases. Second layer is about work practices in general, skills and processes, how they change because of digital technologies on the shop floor. And then we have 3 deep dives on technologies, on particular technologies. So Internet of Things and digital twinning, and with another deep dive on the implication for cybersecurity. So what does it take for a medium-sized company, for example, working in the chemical industry, to build a cybersecurity strategy, a rather new element for a medium-sized company in the moment their services goes online and their assets are online. IoT, so augmented and virtual reality and the implication for work. And then a third deep dive module on artificial intelligence and the implication for decision making, when and how predictive analytics can be used, how humans can be included in the loop of the decision making processes when some decisions are informed by more data. A rich variety of contents. We have around about 15 instructors or practitioners involved in the recording of this content. We have recorded this content on our own with a fresh multimedia touch. I hope that you can enjoy this learning content when it will be ready in January, and that can be, most important, useful to companies to undertake the digital transformation. Thank you very much for your attention.
All right, thank you, Paolo. Even without any slides, that was clear. But of course, we will be happy to share content about your project on our websites and social media channels. I repeat again, for people watching us, you can ask questions. And here I have one question for our panelists today on human-centric robotics and operator 4.0, but very quickly, as we are running a little bit late. So for you, nice speakers, the question is, what does it mean to be an operator 4.0? The operator should be ready to wear sensors all day long. Who would like to provide a first answer?
Well, I can provide a few ideas. So
all right.
I don't think that they should be ready to wear sensors all day long. That's not required. I think operator 4.0 is when you are enhancing the operator capabilities and knowledge with IT and robotics. So basically, you have to work on new ways to enable this interaction. And by doing this, you contribute to make the worker more productive and to ease his tasks.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I think. Sorry, just
yes,
to
sure.
add something.
Go ahead.
Very shortly. I think that it's very important to strengthen competencies as to develop key skills of the new operator 4.0. So these kind of projects, as Unico, as the others shown from my colleagues, are very important in order to prepare the talents of the future to be entitled to be the operator 4.0, because competent and because with very hard skills to manage this new let me say scenario in which they are already. So that's what I think.
Okay. Any additional comments from the speaker?
Yeah, I can add my 50 cents on this that derives from my research. I see more task variety, so operators have to handle different type of task. Lean production has informed us that, of course, operators has been involved in setting machines, but also in maintenance. Maintenance become more informed by data, which means that operators need to have sense of statistics. Statistics, for example, is not taught in vocational in education. And so, for example, upper secondary schools have also the duty to teach operators and also training institutes how to handle with more data-intensive task environments, also, and how to balance theory, the theory about how a robot or a machinery works, the mechanical theory, I mean, for example, with what the data tells. Sometimes if you rely too much on data, you become simply more stupid. And of course, the challenge is to balance the knowledge of the process, of the manufacturing process, with what the data tell us. It's not a trivial challenge, we see.
Okay, yes, indeed. Thank you, Paolo, for this complimentary comment. Indeed, nothing about sci-fi or any futuristic world. It's more about being able to handle more information on a more complex world and context based on technology and digital information. Hope this answered the question. Considering the timing, I would like to thank you all for your participation and for respecting the timing. And I know it's very challenging, but that's the idea. The idea is to be able to provide as much information in a very short time. Moving to the next panel. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
It was a pleasure to have you with us today.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Next topic, we move on now to the value of networks between industry and academia. I think this will be also a deep and interesting topic. That's why we have invited a specific speaker, Karin Delaney, for the keynote on making our workforce fit for the factory of the future. Karin, are you with us?
Yes, thank you very much,
Okay.
Karina.
Thank you for participating today. Yes, we can hear you, and we are very eager to know what you think.
Okay.
What's on your mind?
Okay, we'll just share the screen with you now, and hoping you can see that.
Yes, indeed, we can now. Thank you.
Okay, well, first of all, thank you for the invitation. It's great for us to be here, and we're happy to have the opportunity to talk about our project, which is called Fit for FOF, Fit for Factories of the Future. So it's a coordinated action funded under Horizon 2020. And the whole idea of the project is to frame approaches that put the learner, the worker on the shop floor at the center of the learning process, get them involved in learning design in a way that's appropriate, and link that back to the innovation activities of the company. So the challenge really was to actually create a number of new approaches, blending the best of what's available, and then apply it in a series of pilot activities through the consortium with our industry partners. As a backdrop to that, we have, just get the, now, so in terms of the shape of the project, we have both education and industry partners broadly ranged across Europe. And this is something that we did deliberately, and in order to capture a range of different technology spaces in the discrete manufacturing sector, and also a range of different educational approaches, from traditional universities to VETs, and a range of different skill sets in the design of new educational materials and approaches. So all of that was part of the picture we developed and the partnership that we put together. And the whole idea of the project in answering the call challenges was and is to look at the new skills requirements that are needed in the discrete manufacturing sector, build and pilot educational approaches using a new educational framework, and create a shift that puts the worker at the center of this process, appropriate to increasing their involvement in the learning process and the innovation process. And then once we have this, to find ways to scale and share this with the European community. So the goal of the project, as well as this capacity building, is to shape new educational approaches, particularly in the workplace. So this workplace and work-based learning process was essential. To develop that, our project is really divided into two parts. A 3-year project, the first 18 months or so have really been about creating this new educational approach, training approaches, and bedding them into co-design activities that amplify the voice of the learner. And the second half of the project is really about piloting these activities and sharing them more broadly as a prototype and a series of enablers that can be used by different organizations. And it's something that we've been building, very much aware of the COVID challenge. The crisis that was already there at the start of the project has really been exacerbated by the challenges we all collectively face. Much of Europe is on lockdown at the moment, and that means it's more difficult to develop the kind of educational approaches, particularly seeing as a lot of the best practices are really around face-to-face learning. So the whole process here is in amplifying the voice of the learner. What we're doing is we're really looking at all of the stakeholders and building a new process where they work together, a new what we call co-design process, where we have a series of mechanisms to capture the perspective of the different stakeholders and then work through a series of engaging dialogues, workshop activities. There's a variety of different approaches in our model in order to capture the need, the role of the employee, the role of the educational provider, whether that's informal learning or something that's more dynamic or a combination of the two. So really a significant part was building this co-design framework and then developing it in a way that could work in real organizations. So theory being assembled and built into a practical and implementable approaches. Our model, which is a prototype that we're building and developing, is something that we call the Fusion or Future Skills Innovation Prototype or Program. And this is really being developed looking at the requirements of the learner, the organization, the educational framework, and is blended into a series of approaches. So the theory is kind of captured by the picture you see here. And as you move from the left of the picture towards the right of the picture, you see a situation which moves more from an apprenticeship model to a shared learning model to a knowledge building approach. All organizations will really be able to populate this picture. The real question here is how connected are the activities and what are the interactions, how can they be expanded and evolved so that you get a better set of practices, and also in particular the ability to roll forward and continue and enhance this process, because all of the parts here from the industry point of view, the technology, the education, these are all moving parts that are all working towards or should be working towards a common purpose. But that is easier said than done in real world situations. So our base model is based on this fusion prototype construct, and our focus and what is active at the moment in the project are a series of pilots across 4 different discrete manufacturing areas led by the industry partners. So in Spain, we have our colleagues in SEAGA who are looking at automotive built around cluster-based learning. So SEAGA are a cluster, and they have the challenge of bringing together a series of different organizations to work together. Likewise, our colleagues in Italy, MISAP, have challenges around developing solutions for SMEs up to larger organizations and applying that into the smart products and manufacturing domain. In the medical device spaces, our partner Boston Scientific is looking at leveraging programs that they have developed and in some ways kind of were a catalyst for this project, and taking them forward with the acquisition and development of new technology solutions. And in Romania, our colleagues in Arctic are developing a smart manufacturing approach based on a new smart Industry 4.0 factory that's been basically developed, commissioned, is getting up and running in parallel with the lifetime of the project. So those pilots are going through a process of foresight and planning. So we are looking at what is needed in terms of future educational requirements. What are the trends that are influencing this from an educational innovation process and all the related context within the specific pilot sites. So that picture is something that we've assembled for each pilot and then translated to a larger framework, a sort of global or European framework. So that cross-linking or that collaborative framework is a really important part of this. And then from that, and from the expression of the local needs of the partners, we develop piloting processes, educational processes. And here is where we have particular activities where an engagement with the learner and the worker is part of the construction of how these educational processes progress. And then the purpose of this, of course, is to make it sustainable. So moving into the third phase is what we call a transition to practice, making sure that it's actually maps back to good quality control mechanisms, are repeatable, are sustainable, something that the companies and organizations themselves can design in future themselves, but also they link back to things like the European qualifications framework and are fundamentally grounded in something that's sustainable and of good quality. So the practical approach is to move through these phases as part of what we're doing, build out solutions from the industry pilots and ultimately replicate them in other domains driven by the educational partners. So the responsibility for partnering with industry in, for example, Ireland or some of the other partners across Denmark and Germany and Portugal, the responsibility for the educational partners is to replicate some of these activities and models with their own industry partners in their own countries. This is one of the ways that we can expand and develop our mechanism for disseminating and broadening the engagement. And the second priority, once we have these models, and I suppose from a practical point of view,
you have 1 minute left, Karin. Sorry.
That's fine.
Okay.
We have a practical set of mechanisms that are working and maturing. And we're now moving into a stage where we want to broaden that dialogue, broaden the prototyping process with a greater range of partners across Europe. And we've been developing that through our website and through our dissemination tools from the beginning of the project, forming a series of what we are describing communities of practice, which are engaging and we are promoting the sort of use and development of these tools more broadly. So in order to sort of engage with us, and this is something that's really key part of our focus in developing the coordinated actions, outcomes, and impacts. We encourage people to engage with us through the website, through other mechanisms that are appropriate to EIT and the workshop audience here, as well as our LinkedIn pages, which are a good way of referencing and seeing where we are at the moment. So I encourage that engagement because the next part of this is really to broaden how we're testing these mechanisms and these fusion prototypes, as we call them. So that was a quick run through the Fit for FOF project. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Karin, for this complete and very interesting presentation. So if I understand properly your message, education is key once again. Yes. And I suppose there's a lot of good quality education. In a sense, anybody who's moving into this space is focused now on a huge number of possibilities that they can leverage from online sources. So the question is, well, what is the best fit for my organization? I know the people in my organization best. So what is the best fit and what is sustainable? You finish up having an internal conversation, or you should be having an internal conversation within your organization, which maps to regional organizations and more broadly to build a way of
acquiring and sustaining new knowledge.
Yes.
So the mechanics of this is really a series of new processes of what we call co-design, which is really let's say finding the right form of communication within the organization and with other key stakeholders, and connecting and building a knowledge map that allows people to move forward. So this idea of connecting a worker to what is meaningfully innovative about the company, slowly but surely becomes more possible, because you are basing this on where everybody in the organization is coming from, and then building towards a common picture.
All right. So, and I think that Europe is very well equipped to train our young generations, and EIT Manufacturing is a good ambassador of these training capabilities. We will now move on. Thank you very much, Karin, for your participation and fruitful knowledge. We will now move on to the next speaker, Susan Souza from Energy. Sorry for the wait. Please tell us about your project, MNestI. And welcome, Susan. The name should be changed. This is Susan Souza from Energy Institute in Portugal, right?
Yes, right. Thank you so much.
Welcome from Portugal.
Hello, good afternoon. MNest1 is conceived as the first stage of a larger activity, aiming to establish a robust and sustainable structure to host all types of activities that target the empowerment of people building the European manufacturing community of the future, from young students to teachers and researchers, from apprentices to technical managers. The idea is to create from the scratch distributed teaching and learning factory, building on complementary innovation hotspots prioritized by each factory unit, using the respective manufacturing clusters as test beds and pilot demonstrators, and strategically capitalize from the great synergies within the ongoing complementary activities of each partner and facility layer, as well with the local educational programs. Manufacturing technologies for materials and process hybridization is one of the main areas focused and triggered this process within MNest1, based on current industrial challenges faced by sectors such as aerospace and automotive, and related learning needs. As you can see, we are already implementing several teaching factories, connecting industry with the academia. In Asia, teaching factories linked with the Play to Form project, testbed, as a major H2020 project coordinated by Energy that integrates in a single platform 3 manufacturing stages to process multi-material systems, layup, in-situ consolidation, and hot forming. In Portuguese teaching factory, 2 companies from automotive and aeronautics sector have presented directly their challenge to students. Their main focus was design optimization and quality control of hybrid materials manufacturing. In sum, the overall objective of MNest1 is to provide a proof concept leveraging the digital technologies of an emerging teaching paradigm to connect industry to research and development institutions and universities to empower the European manufacturing community. Thank you all for your attention.
All right. Thank you, Susan. That was sharp on time. Thank you very much. Once again, for people watching us, do not hesitate to ask your questions on our live streaming, on our social media channels, YouTube and Facebook. You can put your question on the comment box and we will read it here live. I will move right away to the next speech by Harry Beetz from LMS, all the way to Greece, if I'm not wrong, for the TF-NoNet project. Harry, are you with us? Yes. Hi, Harry. Welcome.
Hello. Nice to meet you, and thanks for the kind introduction. So my name is Harry Beetz, and this is our approach towards the future of education, what we call the TF-NoNet project. Europe has a deep industrial background since the mid-1700s already, and is still home to a very large number of manufacturing small and medium enterprises, but also to some of the most renowned large enterprises worldwide. The competitive advantage of European manufacturing enterprises is their know-how. Nevertheless, they still face a number of technical and non-technical challenges in their daily business. In addition, most of them are relatively slow as it regards innovation adoption. On the other hand, most European countries have a well-developed educational system on every level. This is accompanied usually by owning a lot of high-value industrial equipment, particularly in the most industrialized countries, which is unfortunately quite often underutilized. On top of that, there has been a huge unexpected disruption, as I'm sure you have already noticed. On early 2020, COVID-19 has come in our lives, changing everything. This is the status of the educational institutes in the European Union at the end of April, according to UNESCO. All the aforementioned facts point to one specific need. We need an effective remote education paradigm. TFNonet proposes to take advantage of the unique characteristics of all aforementioned actors, SMEs and LEs and institutes, and connect them together to the ecosystem benefit, forming a knowledge exchange network. As such, TFNonet aims at delivering a program where students, researchers, and companies work together to mutually develop skills, promote, and share expert knowledge through co-creating solutions to industrial manufacturing challenges. The approach is based on extending the established teaching factory paradigm on a network level, combining it with open innovation practices. The TFNonet Knowledge Exchange Network comprises both leading industrial partners as well as renowned universities mutually benefiting from the approach. On the one hand, academic partners provide novel concepts and approaches, creating solutions to industrial challenges and providing remote access to academic testbeds. They also provide access to new talent and can provide education and training for employees if need be. On the other hand, industrial partners offer information regarding industrial practices and practical knowledge implemented in their business, along with challenges they may face in their daily lives. In addition, they may request access to testbeds to validate a concept before applying it in full scale, or request employee training on a specific subject. To prove the value of the concept, 3 pilot activities are currently running, involving almost 100 trainees across 6 European countries. If you want to learn more about our activity, please visit our website at tfnonet.com and follow us on our social media channels. You may also directly contact us via email for specific questions. Thank you very much for your attention.
All right, Harry, thank you very much. Sharp and efficient presentation. I made a mistake all the way to Greece. I should have made a stop in Italy at Politecnico di Milano. Walter, excuse me, you were on the list, but I mean, it doesn't matter. Now the floor is yours, Walter Quadrini from Politecnico di Milano for the Lift Europe project. Thank you, Walter.
Thank you, Karima, for your introduction. So, welcome. Basically, we are LIFT. LIFT is a consortium made by 11 universities and 1 competence center. When we were born in January, our purpose was to develop some kind of common background courses for enterprises, manufacturing enterprises, about the technologies that Industry 4.0 is pushing on. But when we drove the first surveys to collect the preliminary feedbacks over our courses, we found that there was a galaxy of companies highly knowledge greedy, and these companies were SMEs, small and medium enterprises. The interesting fact that we found is that those companies were not interested in gaining the hard skill over the technologies at all. They wanted more to solve some general issues they have and some problems they have with technology, which was mainly related to the general knowledge and the glossary. So basically they miss the proper glossary to interact with their suppliers for technology. And this could result in the fact that they're might not be able to describe their problem properly or describe the technical solution they want, and entailing in buying the wrong technology, or in most cases, buying some overfitting technology for their needs. So we decided to constitute and to evolve this consortium of universities. We are gaining also partners. 2 other universities will join us next year in order to give a common foreground made of success stories that they can take inspiration from, made by a strong glossary they can rely on, in order to allow those small and medium enterprises to go on the market, having answered to some basic questions already. And for example, their question could be, what is this technology? What is it for? What does it need? And do I actually need it? Maybe not. Thank you, Karima, for the stage.
Sorry, I was muted indeed. Sorry about that. So just explaining again, next project will be iDrive by Fabian Garcia from EIT Manufacturing itself, because we are also running education programs from the inside. Fabian, are you ready?
Thank you.
Yes, the floor is yours. Sorry about the muted thing. I'm trying to avoid the noise.
No problem. Thank you, Karima. Yes, good afternoon. Happy to stay with you and present the project iDrive. iDrive is a service developed by EIT Manufacturing to reskill and upskill European manufacturing workers. In these COVID times, we need to reinvent ourselves. And one of the great opportunities to do so is with education. With regard to education, we have some challenges in Europe, but we also have great opportunities. Manufacturing is at the core of this situation. In fact, the 4th industrial revolution is a very good opportunity for all manufacturing stakeholders. When we think about education, we believe that there are 2 big components. One is the content, and the second one is the way to deliver, to access, and use this content. iDrive is based in these 2 main components. The first component is the content. Content is king. This is the reason we have a great partners ecosystem, developing the content the market is demanding. The second main component is the platform. The platform included in iDrive is the GLP, the Guided Learning Platform. The GLP is not another new platform in the market. It's a revolutionary and manufacturing-oriented platform for several reasons. I'll give you 3 of them. The first one, it has to do with the university-business relationship. Using the iDrive Teaching Factory, we have both worlds. The world of the academia to apply research and innovation, and the world of industry to find practical solutions, hands-on solutions. The second reason is about the connectivity with the manufacturing shop floor and devices. The learning factory of iDrive is able to connect with physical plants and devices to provide very practical training. And finally, the third one, personalization. The content accessible from the GLP is composed of small pieces of knowledge. These pieces can be organized in different ways according to the user's demands. Therefore, we'll be able to customize the learning process. If you are interested and want to have more information, of course, you can go to the EIT Manufacturing website, and especially to the iDrive landing page. Will be available very soon. We expect iDrive and the Guided Learning Platform will be your education manufacturing service. Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Fabian. That was clear and sharp too. Thank you very much. So not only technology, but networks too. Putting people together so they can innovate together is very important. Now we will be moving to the next speech by Lucia Ramundo from EIT Manufacturing too. Hello, Lucia. Can you please share with us your content about the Master and PhD School? Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Karima. Thank you all for joining in this event. I am the Master and PhD Program Manager for EIT Manufacturing activities, and these are two initiatives that we are running inside the EIT Manufacturing together with the collaboration of our university partners at the moment. And the scope of these two initiatives is, of course, to educate the future innovators and entrepreneurs of the future manufacturing. So in order to do this, we build our program on a specific quality framework, the EIT label. You see here, for instance, on the screen, certificate label that the students will get at the end of these programs. For instance, this one is for PhD, but we have another one the same for master one. And these are exactly the results that show that the students can use to present how they study in these specific quality framework based programs. This framework is a unique brand for high quality education in business and societal needs. What does it mean and why we use this framework exactly in our program? Because we have seen that industries already know very well technology, and the university students already study their technical and develop their technical skills about technologies and basic science. But of course, they need additional skills and capabilities. Through this framework and through our programs, we ensure that the students learn these skills and capabilities to become innovators and entrepreneurs in manufacturing of the future. For instance, they learn skills and capabilities about leadership, creativity, innovation management, taking judgment, and so on. And this is not something that they learn on academic basis, but they, in our programs, we use an approach or learning by doing approach, meaning that the students will work also directly in specific industrial challenges, and they will have also real work experience through mobility exchange, not only through universities, but also through research centers and industries, in order to get the capabilities to use these new skills directly on the business work and eventually create their own business at the end of their studies. More in detail, the master program targets the bachelor students who want to complete their master degrees in manufacturing, of course. It's a double degree program based on the 4 flagship of EIT Manufacturing. And at the moment, we have 80 universities participating at this program for master students. And to show how this is linked with the industries, we also have an advisory board, which is helping us co-creating the programs and developing the program in the next future. Instead, the PhD programs are targeting mainly PhD students, but also professionals, or even young professionals or more senior professionals already working in industries that wants to develop much more their innovation and entrepreneurship skills. Also to create new business, empowering their companies with new business capabilities inside their innovation, and also eventually to create their own startup even beside their industrial work. At the moment, we have 6 universities in this program, and the program in itself is led by a scientific and industrial committee, once again to allow this interconnection with the research center and industries. And both programs, once again, wants to use the EIT manufacturing ecosystem to offer this ecosystem to the students, but also opportunities to the students, to the industries to participate and to get in touch with these new students that we are going to educate. So thank you very much. If you have questions, you can contact me inside EIT Manufacturing and also through the different social media. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Lucia. That was clear also. So we are running a little bit late on time. But anyway, we understand clearly via these presentations how much the network is important and how much staying connected to each other remains a priority in order to be able to create and innovate even more. We might have a question on the web that will be addressed to these panelists. Which are the main difficulties the SMEs face when trying to create relationships with the academia, and how can they be solved? It's a complex question, maybe not to be answered in a few minutes, but if anyone would like to comment on that. So the SMEs and their difficulties when trying to create relationship with academia. How can we help our SMEs to reach out to university? Yes, please, Fabian.
Yes, just a comment. In my opinion, first, it's very important the access to academia from SMEs. So that's key for research and innovation. Second thing is a problem of resources. Sometimes SME don't have enough resources for doing this. And a possibility to go on with this is to access through associations, just to associate between different SMEs in order to access to the academia.
Associations like EIT Manufacturing, for example.
Perfect.
All right. So the answer is clear. SMEs should get into EIT Manufacturing so they have access to universities, but also industry and other SMEs, and also RTOs, and also NGOs and local authorities. And additional comments, maybe Walter, I saw you raise your hand.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest problem preventing SMEs to interface with the university is related with the past habits of universities. So in the past years, a lot of let's say the academical habit was that a company came to the university and asked for a kind of solution, and they usually addressed the solution which was the most cutting edge one because of also research purposes. And what we are doing, as long as I've seen in the EIT actions, is, for example, when a company comes to us and asking for, I need some fleet management system for my AGVs, we do not say, okay, there are this solution. We ask them, why do you need it? And if they tell us, I don't know, because I have a wide chamber environment and I want to limit the humans in that environment, that's okay. But in most of cases, they replied, because I was told that this was the most advanced and flexible solution. And that is the stage then where we have to talk with SMEs to not load them with too much technology. So maintenance expenses and so on, to give them simple approaches to resolve their issue, and so regain the trust between the small enterprises and universities.
All right, thank you. Any additional comments?
Yes, if I can say something.
Yes, of course. Susan, right?
Like
No, Lucia, okay.
Yeah, thank you. I would like to stress that in the master and PhD programs, we are very happy to look for, to get challenges from SMEs to be solved. So business challenges that we can help to solve through our students in a specific context, through thesis and also internships. And as also the colleagues and other participants said, we really need to help these SMEs to understand what is the best technology, not just eventually come with the chosen technologies, because maybe we can also help them to find different kind of solutions to a business problem, business challenge through our students and our technological centers inside EIT Manufacturing. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Lucia. Additional comments?
Well,
yes.
Thank you. I think also clusters and RTOs play a are main players to connect academia to SMEs, because sometimes SMEs don't know who have to contact, don't know what is the right person to speak and to help them with the problem. And that institutions are a key players also to help them.
Yes, indeed. Harry, you wanted to add something. I think that this question is raising a lot of interest in this group. Very good question, finally. Yes, Harry, please.
Yeah, just a very small remark from my side. We need to make sure that the industry understands the value of cooperating with academia. And this, for some, that's very clear. To some of them, it's not very clear, but they have to gain from this cooperation. And I think we are doing quite well, and we'll do even better in EIT Manufacturing in demonstrating the potential of cooperation between academia and industry. And as soon as that's clear,
we can't not hear you really well, Harry. I don't know if you hear me. Your voice is very much, yeah. Okay, now it's better.
I can hear you. Okay, I was saying that what we need to make sure is that the industry understands the benefit of cooperating with academia. And in my point of view, we are already doing a very good job in EIT Manufacturing in proving that. And as soon as we prove that, more and more industrial partners will understand the value, and I think they will foster more cooperations between industry and academia.
All right, thank you. So if I understand properly, this question actually is summarizing the whole EIT Manufacturing goal, meaning putting together SMEs with universities, but not only, also RTOs and industry, because we all understand here that partnership is key for a faster and more efficient and more adapted innovation, because an SME would not have the same needs as a university, and partnering is key here to answer in an efficient way to the market, but to the needs, and adapted to the structure itself. So anyone who asked this question, thank you very much. To the speakers, thank you so much for your participation, nice inputs, nice presentations, challenging timing, of course, and hopefully we see you very soon. Before moving to the next panel, we are running a little bit late, but hopefully we can catch up with the timing. Thank you very much and have a good afternoon, all of you. For the fourth panel now, engaging the future of manufacturing, I will welcome 5 speakers. Bastian Tiede from TU Braunschweig, Lander Galdos from Mondragon University, Marta Pinzone, Politecnico di Milano, Alberto Terenzi, EIT Raw Materials, and Ivana Lukakova, EIT Manufacturing. I think people are getting connected right now. In the meantime, is Bastian Tiede with us? Yes, Bastian is ready. From TU Braunschweig, can you tell us a little bit about your Lee Fox project? Thank you very much, Bastian.
Yes, of course I can, and hello and warm welcome from my side as well. When you think back to your days in school, how much did you actually learn about the things happening in a factory? Quite a black box, huh? Well, production or manufacturing is not only the transformation of materials to products and goods. It's a complex orchestra of different stakeholders and actors achieving their goal and producing the goods we consume and use in our everyday life. But what we must not forget about is the impact on society and environment. And to achieve the ultimate goal of sustainability, we will need an interdisciplinary team with a holistic understanding of manufacturing to actually achieve this goal. And we will need young talents to step in and to participate in this competition or challenge and shape our future lives. But how can we make more transparent what actually is happening inside a factory? Well, we could bring millions of pupils every year from secondary schools into factory and explain in detail what's happening there, but that's quite an effort. What we could try instead is to bring the factory to the desktop of the pupils. And this is what we did in our approach when we selected an everyday product with societal relevance and environmental impact, an electric vehicle. And this is one of our prototypes we're using right now. It's made from cardboard, but this small-scale electric vehicle follows the exact same process steps as a real-life car. And you can manually follow this value chain, so people can really get a grip on the processes involved here. But this electric vehicle, which, by the way, with the powertrain in place can be controlled via smartphone or tablet, is basically just a vehicle for us, because we created this virtual factory as well in order to convey basic knowledge about manufacturing. This factory comes to life using AR technologies and tablets or smartphones on the desktop of the pupils. And with additional content provided by us, we can challenge the students, convey basic knowledge about manufacturing, and pinpoint on the relevant challenges we have nowadays. We know schools are limited on budget. So all of this AR factory and app providing learning content, as well as the video footage, comes as a kit served for classroom usage in schools at a low price. So we hope that we can reach out to as many pupils as possible and spark the love for curiosity for manufacturing among pupils in Europe. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Bastian. That was innovative in a way of presenting. Thank you for inspiring us, all of us. We will move now to the next speech presented by Lender Galdos from Mondragon University for the project Embryo. Lender, are you with us? Yes, here
hello.
you are. Welcome.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
So can you hear us?
Yes, very well.
Yes. Okay, so I'm Lander Galdos, the leader of Embryo, and as you know, the engaging pupils into manufacturing and STEMs is really crucial for Europe, and this is the final aim that Embryo has. Okay, so I'm sitting in front of our 400-ton press, and you will see that we are doing tiny things like these ones for schools. Okay, Embryo is built up by Mondragon, PTU, and Arduino. Okay, and as I told you, the final aim is to engage pupils. Here we are speaking about 14 years old pupils into manufacturing. For that, we have this concept: learning digitalization, learning about green manufacturing, and doing a project-based learning approach so that pupils can create their own product. Okay, we have created small, tiny toys. Let's say this is one example. This is a control board developed by Arduino for moving one press, where pupils can study about we need to push 2 buttons to safely move the press. You have alarms, turning of the rotation, and so on. Yeah. Then we have this small press that was created in 3D printing. Okay, this is one version. You can see here the tools, metal bending tools. Okay, and we have another cheaper version, which is laser cut. Okay, with a stepper motor too, and this is the RAM, and here you have the tools. Okay, so what we do with the schools, we teach them programming Arduino, then we teach them about manufacturing, about sustainable manufacturing, and finally we leave them 2 months to say, okay, you need to create a product using this press. Okay, in this period they need to mount it, to calibrate it, and finally end with a product that they will bring home. And this is how Embryo ends in the lecturing course. Okay, those are the key figures. This year, we teach already 4 schools and 90 students, and 9 new schools are being trained now with nearly 200 students, okay? So we clearly think this is the future. We need to attract them, and this is Embryo. If you need more information, contact me or visit our website.
Okay, thank you, Lender. Embryo, and as any embryo, this is, I would say, meant to grow again, hopefully. And we've had like two different kind of presentation, but both very entertaining, meaning that we can innovate with what we have around us. Thank you very much, Lender. We will move now to the next presentation. I just received the information that it will be Marco Spaltini instead of Marta Pinzone from Politecnico di Milano. Marco, are you with us?
Yes.
For the YML project. Welcome, Marco, and thank you for presenting today the YML project. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. As been presented, I'm Marco Spaltini, and in this speech, I want to talk about an exciting project funded by EIT Manufacturing that inspired me and gave me the opportunity to meet colleagues interested like me in the field of manufacturing. The Young Manufacturing Leader is an international network of people aimed at spreading awareness about the importance of advanced and sustainable manufacturing, engaging and connecting young people with key players and opportunities in the manufacturing sectors, empowering them to become change makers and contribute to the sustainable development of manufacturing industry and future society. These activities are made both at local and global level. The project is coordinated by 6 partners, which are the World Manufacturing Foundation, Politecnico di Milano, that is my university, Chancellor's University, the CTU of Prague, and the University of Braunschweig. We are a community of students, professionals, entrepreneurs, and also experts from other sectors. And at present, we count more than 100 members spread among 16 countries, which are Italy, Czech Republic, Germany, Spain, and Sweden, which represent the 5 city hubs of the network. But we're also present in other countries worldwide, which are Belgium, Canada, Estonia, Finland, Ireland, India, Mexico, the Netherlands, Switzerland, UK, and the USA. We are an active community, as I said, involved in many activities of the World Manufacturing Foundation, like the Back to the Future initiative or the ESN contest, whose winner will be proclaimed tomorrow evening at the Young Manufacturing main event at 4 o'clock. So if you want to join it, you're more than welcome. But we are also active in many other fields, like the development of thematic learning materials and the organization of webinars with experts from industry and academia as well. So to conclude, if you want to learn new skills or develop new perspective or build new relationships, I also take this opportunity to invite you to check our website. It is www.youngmanufacturingleaders.org and become a Young Manufacturing Leaders, and also to join the event of tomorrow, the Young Manufacturing Leaders main event. So thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much, Marco. And we hope a lot of young manufacturing leaders will join you and contact you to get more information and get inspired by all your work. I will move on to the next speech by Alberto Terenzi from EIT Raw Materials for the Girls Go Circular. Hello, Alberto. Thank you for joining us today. Another colleague from another kick. It's always nice to share.
Definitely. Thanks so much for leaving the floor to me. And yes, indeed, from EIT Raw Materials, a sister organization of EIT Manufacturing, dealing particularly with metals and minerals and their sustainable use, extraction, and recycling. So I'm here today to present the Girls Go Circular project. Did you know that 34%, only 34% of STEM graduates, and I mean graduates from scientific, technological, engineering, and mathematics are women, and only 17% of ICT experts in Europe are women? This is a European problem. It is a global problem. We are faced with a gender gap issue, digital gender gap, and it is exactly what Girls Go Circular wants to do. Together with EIT Manufacturing, we are developing an online learning program through a dedicated platform that we will conduct with 12,000 schoolgirls aged 14 to 18 in Southern and Eastern Europe, in those countries that, according to the European scoreboard, are considered the modest and moderate innovators, to support them to develop their potential and get acquainted not only with the digital tools that will be fundamental for their careers in the future, but also to do it through a training on the circular economy, giving the whole program a cut on the tailoring on the big societal challenges we're all facing, and empowering the schoolgirls to be agents of change for the future and the leaders of tomorrow in these challenges. So as I said, we want to reach 12,000 girls by the end of 2021, but we are starting already now. Next week, we will start with our first 500 girls in 6 countries, namely Italy, Greece, Portugal, Romania, Bulgaria, and Serbia, to conduct a pilot so that they will already test our modules on, for example, sustainable plastics, sustainable metals, the circular use of fashion and of ICT appliances, and will be able to give us feedback for the then full rollout in 2021. So it is an exciting project, lots of work to be done in this aspect, and I'm very happy that I had the opportunity to present the product here today. Thanks so much.
All right, thank you, Alberto. And of course, we can only support you in this initiative, and very happy to see that the KICs get involved in the issue. Before moving on to the end of this panel and discussion, we will have another presentation also showing how KICs can cooperate together and work together by Ivana Lukakova from EIT Manufacturing, but who is in charge of a cross-KIC project on human capital and water scarcity. Hello, Ivana, and welcome. The floor is yours.
Good afternoon. I'm the EIT Manufacturing Project Manager for 2 cross-KIC projects, human capital and water scarcity. And today I would like to give you a short overview of our main achievement this year. So what are those cross-KIC projects? EIT supports development of dynamic European innovation communities known as KICs. And these KICs, dedicated to finding solutions to specific global challenge, run also different cross-KIC initiatives with the aim to build infrastructure to achieve specific objectives. For instance, through cross-KIC Human Capital project, we organize EIT Community Conference this year dedicated to lifelong learning. Mindset, motivation, inclusiveness, working learning environment, and transfer of the knowledge were reflecting during the conference, and will be also reflected during our EIT Manufacturing workshop on November 25th, and you are all welcomed. To achieve cross-KIC knowledge transfer, common tools have been defined. This enables leveraging cross-KIC education content. And as an example, EIT Manufacturing with its partners and EIT InnoEnergy created a MOOC on battery manufacturing that will be launched and future learn on November 23rd. And why batteries? Battery use and innovation is a cornerstone of the path towards a climate neutral economy. The European Union has highly qualified professionals, but there is still a lack of specialized skills about battery manufacturing. So EIT Manufacturing would like to spark the interest of young students and young professionals and shift their attention to this innovation area. We created a course to give a general overview of the battery trends, including storage technologies, battery life cycle, recycling, special processes and equipment, and safety issues. To join our MOOC, go to futurelearn.com and look for EIT Manufacturing course on battery manufacturing. From a climate neutral economy, I would like to move to another climate emergency. Water scarcity is a growing challenge in Southern Europe. According to research shared by the Commission, Europe could cut its overall consumption by up to 40%. Sustainable water management is essential for European key sectors such as tourism, agriculture, energy, but also for chemical, paper, and food industries. This is why 4 of EIT innovation communities, EIT Food, Climate, Raw Material, and Manufacturing, decided to join forces to collaborate in finding innovative solutions for the water scarcity. We engaged 16 relevant experts to define 6 water scarcity challenges, and by addressing them, we would like to trigger system change in water management in Europe. So what are those 6 challenges? First of all, it's enabling agile water management via digitalization, raising awareness and promoting water education, unlocking water governance and financial schemes, optimizing and matching water supply and demand, ensuring better water consumption and production control to allow legal enforcement, and fostering climate change readiness. CrossKick teams ran also challenge labs in Greece, Italy, and Spain to support 26 best innovative startups, providing solutions to one of those 6 challenges. The last steps now are the water academies to facilitate understanding of the water scarcity and raise the awareness about the solutions available. We have already organized 2 water academies for Greece and Italy, but you can still join Water Academy dedicated to Spain, which will be held online on November 18th. To register, please visit the EIT Manufacturing website, and we will be happy to welcome you. Thank you for your attention.
All right, thank you very much, Ivana. So it seems that we keep jumping from a very interesting topic to another one, interesting but also crucial for the future of our planet, society, but also our field of work, manufacturing. I have a question now. We are reaching the end of this panel, but very interesting question too. We cannot avoid it. Question for the whole panel. How can we reduce the gender gap on the manufacturing industry? Is it by engaging both girls and boys since a young age, for example? Maybe someone would like to react on that. How to reduce the gap, the gender gap on the manufacturing industry? Any ideas today for our public watching us online?
I can start.
All right.
Maybe since the Girls Go Circle project has that goal. I think that for the manufacturing industry, as for other industries, there are some crucial points. Definitely engaging boys and girls from a young age together and removing gender bias related to certain professions or fields of expertise or careers is crucial for reducing the gender gap. I think also providing role models of successful women that are active in the field is crucial, so that both girls and boys can see that this is a field open to everyone, and also explaining from a young age to both boys and girls how these processes work, how they are connected to wider societal challenges, and how they can make an impact in then going into the sector and really making a difference. So I think it is really, really about engagement. It's about removal of gender biases, and it is about giving role models.
All right. Thank you, Alberto. We guess you know a lot about the topic. You've been working on it for a long time now. Any additional comment? It would be interesting to have another point of view.
Maybe from my perspective, I can totally agree to what Alberto just said. And I think it's important to approach both genders equally, but not to forget about the different facets of manufacturing. So the factory or the factory's image of a loudy, noisy, smelly black box has long served its time. It's relevant for society, and you can really make a change approaching manufacturing from very, very different perspectives. And you have a broad range of interesting careers there as well. What we need to do is we need to uncover them somehow and show that there are so many different, so many interesting aspects for everyone to really hop in and try to shape the future for a more sustainable
Thank
development.
you very much. So it's more a matter of perception of the work. training, but also changing the perception and the image of the manufacturing jobs. Any additional comments maybe from our lovely panelists today?
Okay, so in our embryo, for example,
Lander,
we
yes.
think that mixing all the students from the beginning and giving the leadership to women can help. So we are working on with that idea. For example, PTU Darmstadt has special grants for this kind of initiatives. They help also secondary schools for giving more, let's say, more evidence that women are involved in these activities. But we think that the key aspect is to involve all the group mixed from the very beginning before they capture this role that, for example, men need to go to manufacturing, women need to go to another sector. So I think the key is to start very early.
Okay, thank you, Lander. So several suggestions here, very interesting, that we should keep note of. Additional comments, maybe from Ivana or Marco?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree with what Lander said before. Before I mentioned Back to the Future initiative, and among the roundtable there were a work project focused on women in manufacturing, the role of women in manufacturing, and how can be reduce the gender gap. In this sense, building that the technology is a key enabler, because traditionally manufacturing industry was more related to men, because it was more a matter of brutal force. With technology and the operational technology and IT technology, the gender gap, the gender barriers are getting reduced in this sense. And the manufacturing industry is transforming, actually. And it's transforming also in order to support the reduction of this important gap that is also an inefficiency for manufacturing firms, I think.
Okay, thank you, Marco. This is an additional interesting point. Ivana, would you like to conclude on this discussion? We cannot hear you, Ivana. You're muted. Okay, that's better.
I believe that young people in general today would like to create the impact and positive impact. So I believe whether we want to focus on the men and women, we need to really introduce manufacturing as a new way for a sustainable world, a greener world, and climate neutral economy, because this is the target of the Europe also for the 2050. So everybody or everyone who would like to be part of this achievement can join. And the gender gap will be the question of how women will understand that the manufacturing is not biased anymore, and it gives them opportunity for growth and professional development.
Okay, very interesting insights indeed. So we have 5 panelists and 5 complementary ideas. I think it's a very beautiful way to close this event, because we are now reaching at the end. It was very challenging indeed. Very short time to speak and express yourself and present your projects and the work you've been working on for so long now. So we would like to thank you very much for playing the game of the time challenge. Thank you very much for sharing your knowledge, your passion, your beliefs for manufacturing and its future, but also thank you for supporting the education in Europe on this topic. I think I will give the floor now, before closing, to our director, Paola Fantini. Maybe you would like to say a word and thank all these beautiful people that have been with us today.
Yes. Hello. Yes. Thank you.
We can hear you.
Can you hear me? Yes. I would like, first of all, to thank you, all of you that have been listening to these partners, members, illustrating their achievement and also their ambition and their passion And after that, I would like to thank you very much, all the presenters, all the panelists and the keynote speakers, and especially the invited speakers from the other KICs and from the other projects that joined us today to have this roadshow about the skills and the technologies. But in order to, before I leave you, I would like to share with you the next meetings, the next events that we have planned. I don't know if you have, okay, yes. So please don't miss a very important event tomorrow afternoon, again, Boost Up is the final of the competition for startup as SMEs presenting their pitches or innovation, and you can join here at the EIT Manufacturing Week. Another important event for you to join is the Young Manufacturing Leader.
We have lost the sound of Paola. I don't know if anybody can hear me. Okay, I think we have a technical problem here. Oh, Paola has lost the connection. Yes, this is what can happen when we are live and online. Hopefully she gets the chance to reconnect. But anyway, to all of you, thank you very much for your participation, for making this event a success. And we hope we can have plenty of more events like this one. This one was the first of the kind, and it was really challenging. And I would like to thank especially the organizer, Carolina, who has been spending a lot of time on that. Carolina Terregrossa Gallo from Education Program of EIT Manufacturing, who's been working so hard on realizing this event. And I would like to thank you very much. Paola is trying to reconnect right now, so maybe we can wait a little bit. Carolina, would you like to say a word maybe to our speakers today? You've been working really hard, so you shouldn't stay on the shadow.
Thank you very
much. Thank
you. Yeah, thank you. And I want to thank you all the partners who have worked as well a lot on this event. It is not that easy having so many people on a live, but we are really glad. And I would like to thank you as well to our providers that have been doing that direction of the event. And I will leave the stage to Paola so she can finish presenting our next event.
Yes, we've lost you.
Also, you haven't, okay. So the Young Manufacturing Leaders, the project that was presented by Marco Spaltini, bringing together a network of young people passionate with manufacturing. They will have a dedicated event tomorrow, again, main event opening session, and the day after, CET Manufacturing Fit for the Digital Age. Don't miss this event on November 11. And last but not least, if you want to have a flavor and more insight about all the activities of EIT Manufacturing, please join the summit that will be a 2-day event on December 10th and 11th. So last but not least, a very big thank you to the organizers and our beautiful and very professional moderator, Karima. Our behind the scenes, one of the main organizers, Carolina, who brought together everything for this event, Carolina Torregrossa Gallo. And of course, our technical staff, Riccardo and Cristina. Thank you very much to everybody. And again, thank you to the attendants. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Paola, for these nice words. I think we are delayed, but not that much, which is pretty good considering the amount of content we've had today. So thanks to everyone. I think it's time to close this event, and hopefully we see you back very soon for the next one with even more innovation and content and skills and happiness. Goodbye, everyone. Have a good afternoon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.